The Northman is a 2022 film directed by Robert Eggers, and he is a film director that I have not been exposed to. This film stars Alexander Skarsgård, Anya Taylor-Joy, Nicole Kidman, Willem Dafoe, and Ethan Hawke. When I read the cast list for this film and saw the trailer, I was thoroughly excited about it, but I'm just gonna let you guys know, no spoilers, but don't get attached. This is a rage-inducing revenge story that'll get your blood pumping and make you want to become a Viking today. Well, of course, I'm probably not going to do that. I'm a little too lazy to become a Viking and devote my life to that, so I'm probably just going to go play Assassin's Creed Valhalla. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Hess Project. I'm John Ordalaza, and today I'm going to be reviewing The Northman that came out this week, today or yesterday. I saw it yesterday, and it's one movie that I thought looked very intriguing going into it. That trailer really won me over, and the cast list I was excited for because they're really good actors. What can I say? I love Willem Dafoe. I've slowly been liking more and more of Ethan Hawke. I just never really watched any of his films, to be honest. I've seen 2 or 3 and Nicole Kidman's good. Like, she surprises me sometimes. I've never really gone out and seen any of her body work just like Ethan Hawke, but every time I see her, she kind of surprises me a little bit. And of course, I love Anya Taylor-Joy. Alexander Skarsgård I've never really seen before. This is the first time, if I'm not mistaken, that I'm seeing him, and I thought he looked awesome in the trailer, so I wanted to check it out. And what did I think? Let's get into it. As I mentioned in the intro, this is a revenge tale, kind of a classic revenge tale. You know, it's not a spoiler. The father gets murdered and the son witnesses this at an early age. So he vows and he says to himself, "I will avenge you, father. I will save you, mother. I will kill you, the Flarkin." I thought the trailer did an excellent job hyping me up and telling me what the movie was going to be about, but it didn't really capture what the movie really gives you. It was so evident in the first 10-15 minutes of this movie that we were going to have an experience. We were going to be taken into this world of Vikings, of the Northmen, going way back. What was it? The early 1000s, I think. Yeah, this was not only going to be a revenge story with some action in it and take you into the world of the Vikings, but it was going to be kind of like this art house type film. It's got a vibe to it that lends itself to being an art house type film. And while I'm not the biggest fan of those, I haven't seen a bunch of them. It's just on the surface level, you can kind of tell which movies are going to be that, and I just kind of not avoid them, but I just don't watch them. But this movie, I'll be honest, didn't have that vibe going into it. That trailer gave me a different vibe. Maybe there was going to be a few scenes in here that would be, all right, that's a little artsy, but no. Once you get into it, there is an aspect of this film that feels very much like an artsy type film, an art house film that's made for festivals and for the film auteurs. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't expect this movie to be like that, because the trailer really sold me on this action revenge tale. And in my honest opinion, this movie goes on long. Like, this movie feels 2 hours longer than it actually is. And what I mean by that is each scene feels like it's lived in. It feels like you're in the room with them and you're having a conversation with them, and you're the character that the camera is, and when they're looking at the person who's talking, it feels that way. It feels very intimate in every scene, and I enjoy that. I love when a movie is able to pull that off. They felt like real-time events happening. But on top of that, the movie is 2 hours and 20 minutes long, so you feel every second. You feel that clock ticking. And for that reason, the movie just felt like it lasted too long, and in my opinion, it was 30 minutes too long. Now, this isn't like The Batman, in my opinion, where a lot of people have said that it's a little too long and it could be cut somewhere. I personally don't know where to start cutting in The Batman. There's nothing evident and in my face that'd be like, I think I can cut that. But no, there's quite a bit of exposition and just scene setups in this movie, in the Northman, that I feel like could easily just be cut out. And, you don't need all this to get to this point. Just jump to that point. Just do it. The sound design I thought was really good. I'm not going to say the soundtrack was good. There were certain songs and themes in certain scenes that I thought were really good. It's just a lot of cool themes and music notes that'll kick on at the right moment that'll really get you in that Viking mood. There's a chant that pops on here and there that really filled the theater room and the auditorium and shook the room, shook the seat. It felt like I enjoyed all of that. I liked being immersed into the Viking world, especially with the sound design, especially with the cinematography in here, dude. Let's go right into that. A lot of the scenes are lit by a campfire. And then there's a scene that takes place at the bottom of an erupting volcano. So this movie is all over the place when it comes to its cinematography. Some of it is incredibly beautiful and some of it is extremely dull. That kind of just sums up the movie in general, in my opinion. Like, there's a lot of positives about it that you don't even have to try hard enough to turn those positives into negatives. You can see that these positives aren't flawless. They come with some sort of negativity to them. As for performances, I just want to touch upon Alexander Skarsgård and Anya Taylor-Joy. These are the two characters that you spend the most time with in the film, and I really enjoyed their performances. I love Anya Taylor-Joy. I think she's a really great actress, and she does a fine job in this movie. Alexander Skarsgård does a really good job as well. He is terrifying in this movie, like absolutely terrifying at times. Like, are you human? Are you okay? Do you need to sit down and take a seat? Do you want some water, sir? Now, I will say, when it comes to revenge stories, they're fairly simple. They're not that hard to do. It's a classic tale to tell. I think it does something that's better than being generic, but it's also kind of a letdown in my opinion. There's two scenes in this film where Alexander Skarsgård's character, his motivation, his journey, his mission feels derailed. The momentum is just derailed in my opinion, and I found it difficult to grab onto him after a certain point because he couldn't come back with an argument and how he can justify his mission still after those two scenes. But I will say the end fight was beautifully shot. It was beautifully scored. Ah, man, that action fight, it didn't last too long, but I think it lasted as long as it needed to. It was a really good visceral fight, I thought, and I would love to see more of that on screen in other movies, but maybe in a story that, handles its revenge story or its plot a little bit better and doesn't accidentally derail the momentum. In my honest opinion, if someone's not in the room with me in the future and they want to be like, hey, let's watch The Northman, if someone's not in the room saying that, I'm probably not gonna put this movie in. I'm probably not gonna buy it on 4K or Blu-ray. I don't know. It's just not really a 2-hour and 20-minute experience that I want to relive again. So guys, that's my review for The Northman. Let me know down below in the comments, what are you going to be watching this weekend? Are you going to be going to the theaters to see The Northman, or are you going to go see the Sonic 2 again? Batman is on HBO Max now. I've already rewatched it, and I have plans to watch it a couple more times with the parents. It just keeps getting better in my opinion. But let me know down below if you do plan on watching The Northman at some point in time. This is a very interesting movie. I think it's a beautifully shot film, but at times it can be ugly looking. But I think it's an interesting one that I want to talk to someone about who may love it more than me or may dislike it more than me. I want to have these conversations. So leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new, guys. Be on the lookout for my Moon Knight episode by episode reviews that drop on Disney Plus every Wednesday. We got 2 episodes left and I'm excited to see where it goes. Still very confused about that last episode. Let me know down below if you're confused too, if you got the answers on who that hungry hippo was. Sorry if I spoiled it for anybody, but nonetheless, you might want to stick around the channel, guys, because there is more to come.